there is no denying that having a baby changes your life. But we asked you whether you were worried that having a baby would change your relationship with your partner. 41% of you said yes, that you were worried about that before having the baby. I suppose it's a question that you would ask yourself and indeed.
Well, we'd certainly ask you.
And
Go on.
well, obviously just having had one.
What's that?
I'm just taken aback. So this morning or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I suppose it was a question that kind of... I didn't certainly focus on it. It wasn't something I thought, oh, no, what if it all changes afterwards? But I think that comes with having had a baby a little bit older in life. You know, I was 39 when we had her. Frank's, was 40.
And you've been together 10 years,
And we've been together 10 years. And also, actually, this is the great thing about being a stepmom. For all of the concerns that people might have with taking that role on, the fact that he had 2 girls, quite grown up actually at the stage that our baby was born. I've seen him be brilliant. I've seen him be a great dad. I've seen the girls evolve into lovely young women. And I think, well, he's done that well. So I've no worries with that when it comes to my little one. I mean, we've done that sort of whole thing already.
Very true, actually, you've got kind of like a blueprint to look at of how they are as a dad. Yeah,
exactly. And it's down to having been together for a long time, I guess, as well.
And have you had a night out together yet?
We had one night out together, was it 2 Saturdays ago? And obviously weekends are crazy anyway because of what he does, so our time's a bit sort of strange. But we had a Saturday night out and it was fantastic, I have to say. Just like the old days where you go out and get a little bit tipsy. and have nice food and come back and think,
change the relationship more if you were only just got together, if you had only just got together, because I see it quite a few of the people that I've known over the years who have not been together for very long, and the way I see it, I just think you maybe haven't put enough thought into this, because you can kind of see sometimes the relationship going wrong, because a lot of the time people have babies to fix a relationship, which is, I think, wholly and entirely
one thing
wrong.
they certainly won't do.
Well, exactly. and I kind of feel sorry for the baby, but I feel sorry for the couple as well, because they don't want the relationship to go wrong, but you can kind of see it happening because they don't want to change their lives.
Yeah.
You don't want to change anything. And when you have a baby, and I know I haven't got a baby, never wanted one, so it was never going to affect any of my relationships.
Unless you could have case babies.
Unless I could have... Oh, yeah. I'd adopt those 2. Those little ones. No, what was I saying? See, I forgot what I was going to say now because you interrupted me. But
you've never wanted...
They don't want to change their lifestyle.
Yeah, they don't want to change their lives. They want to carry on partying. They want to go out and then they start to resent each other because one of them thinks that the other one is doing all the looking after the baby and the other one isn't. And it's, it's tricky. It's tricky. But I think if you've been together a long time and you kind of
But it undoubtedly changes your focus. That's definitely true. I think off the back of it, you have to focus on this little baby. That's the centre of the attention.
Of course.
So, but then it is important to try and work with your partner still to have each other as well.
But it is hard because there's so much pressure coming in at you, isn't it? And I'm more like your friends in that we'd only been together 4 months when I got pregnant.
You got married pregnant, didn't you?
Yeah, got married pregnant.
You were pregnant at your own wedding.
Yeah. I was pregnant at the wedding, which was don't ever do that. And then when I had this baby, look, that is exactly how I felt. It was like, I'd had her for about a week, and I thought, oh my God, I can't go to the pub. And because Mark and I, in that 4 months before I got pregnant, had done a lot of pubbing and clubbing and all of that. And I was 38, I should have grown up, but I wasn't. And I remember saying about a week into Mark, you can go to the pub, why don't you go to Soho? Go to Soho and meet up with everyone and go for them. And he went, oh, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. You really sure? Yeah, I'm sure. He went out, as soon as he closed the door, I was just with this baby on my breast, just wanting stuff. And I just sat there crying my eyes out, going, I can't go to the pub. I can't go to the pub. I can't go to the pub.
Well, there you go.
It was really scary because we were new together. And I thought, and he'd had 2 children, rather similar situation, actually. So I'd seen he was a really good dad. But then I was thinking...
That's quite unusual at 38, isn't it? At 38, I was like, I don't want to go to the pub.
Yeah, no, I cried so many tears. That poor child, I don't think she ever had any milk without me crying at the same time.
Oh, no.
But, but you do, you have to snap out of it, you have to grow up. And we worked our way through it. But I'm telling you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was so difficult. I was really traumatised by the massive change in my life. I didn't know how to be me. I didn't know what we were, and it was really, really scary.
But that goes back, doesn't it, just having had just the 4 months potentially, really. Do you know what I mean? That is it. Like 4 months isn't a long time to figure out what you want in life together.
No,
You're only getting to know each other at that stage, and suddenly you've got this little baby, which is,
It's
as
a
I
funny
say,
the question. What was the question? Were you worried or whatever before you? I was never worried because I always just thought, well, whatever happens, I can cope with whatever happens. So it wasn't so much that, but it did. With Ellie, my oldest dad. So we were a bit like you. We were. I mean, I was in my 20s, and we were out clubbing and pubbing and all of that. And then the minute that we'd planned, we'd been together 3 years. We planned Ellie. We had Ellie, and it was totally my fault. My perception of him completely changed because suddenly I was working full time then. You know, part of the reason I went self-employed in the end was because I just couldn't cope with being employed and being flung all over the world on assignments. So I changed and suddenly got very responsible and thinking, right, I've got to earn money to pay for this flat and pay the bills. And he kind of stayed the same. And I think you suddenly look at a man and go, how are you going to provide? How are you going to meet me halfway with everything at the very least? And that really, so it was me, that was what split our relationship.
I love to hear it that way round. You don't often hear it that way round, do you? That the woman's had a baby and actually turns around and says, actually, you're not going to work for me in this situation.
Yeah. He's a lovely guy and we're still really good friends and, you know, he's very involved with Ellie, but no, it just didn't work for us because I changed and he didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it is a question that we just need to properly ask ourselves before getting into, because as you say, once the little baby's there, it's full on.
Well, I did. That's why I didn't have any, because I didn't want to change my life.